Hey, fourth grade, happy Friday. Welcome back. So, we've been doing such hard work this week. I've been so impressed with how well you guys have been working with natural hazards. We've been talking about earthquakes, we've been talking about volcano eruptions, we've been talking about tsunamis, and we've been doing like a lot of great knowledge of just figuring out learning about each of those natural hazards and then thinking about ways that we can um, kind of help people that are in those type of situations with these hazards. Just as a reminder, natural hazards are we have no control over them. So because we have no control over them, we have to kind of just adapt to them and try to make the best out of a situation that could be super dangerous, right? So that goes into what we're doing today. What we're doing today is we're going to demonstrate we're going to pick one of those natural hazards. It could be the one that you like the most, the one you find most interesting because you've all found facts that you think is like super interesting about each of these. So either one that you favor the most, one that you find the most interesting or you know the most, or the one that you know the most about. So what we're going to be doing today, hold up, let me move my face up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to be drawing a diagram to show one solution. So you're going to only pick one. You're only going to pick an earthquake, tsunami, or a volcanic eruption. Only one, right? Of those three. And your solution of that we either saw in the video that we talked about or that you guys have pretty much been doing research on. And we're going to be trying to figure out a solution of how those people stay safe during natural disasters. So it has our criteria for success right here that is neat and clear, that is labeled, that is detailed, which means, in parentheses right here, it means that it's showing the natural hazard. It's showing either the volcano erupting. It's showing a tsunami with this huge wave going into a town or a city, or it's showing an earthquake and how it's affecting that town or city, right? So it's showing the natural hazard, and then it's showing the solution, right? It can be the solution that we saw in the video that it talks about because they showed a couple of different solutions on how you can handle that natural hazard. Or it could be one that you're being super creative and you have an idea. Like after you watch the video of the volcanoes, the tsunami, or the earthquake, you're like, you know what? I think this would be super helpful. If the tsunami started and it's flooding all over the place, this is how I would protect and the people of that town. Or the volcanoes erupting and all the lava's all over the place. This is how I would protect the people. So in the case that the natural hazard is already happening. So we've talked about, I know some friends were talking about how you can prevent it and be ready for it, right? But now it's actually happening, right? So what can we do now that it's happening? How can we adapt so that when it does happen or it's happening, we're going to be safe or those people will be safe. And you're going to do this by showing arrows to show effect of the natural hazard, whether it's the tsunami, you're showing that the water's moving with arrows, or the earthquake is shaking, you could be putting arrows in and out to show it's moving, or the building shaking. But from here, I'll go into what you're viewing today. So you view this, you make sure that you write your name. And then we have our same criteria for success that I was just showing you in the PowerPoint is also right here, detailed for you. But then what I put here is once you pick which one you're talking about, right, you're going to make sure that you can always go back and you can click and rewatch that video. Remember, the videos are not more than 5 to 6 minutes. So whichever one you pick, you can easily just rewatch it and you can get your ideas. You can also use your notes. Use your notes that you that you might have taken. So some tips for today: watch the videos. Watch video for your natural hazard. Look over notes. You say, Ms. Clarke, I don't know where my notes are. If you sent them in to me, then you should have them attached into that day's document. classwork. So you can always look back there too. If not, if you really can't find it or you did not take notes that day, then I suggest that you rewatch the video. Right? Cool. So once you watch the video, you pick your natural hazard, just one. You rewatch the video, you might look over your notes. Then you're going to draw that natural hazard. Right? Then you're going to draw some arrows to then show. Oh, why didn't it go into an arrow? There we go. Then you're going to be drawing your solution that is showing how it is. Is it helpful? It shows how it is helpful to protect the people. So for example, earthquakes, you can be drawing your earthquake, draw earthquake, cracked buildings, broken buildings, or homes, right? You can be putting, what else? I have my notes here for today. You could be putting cracks in the streets. And then you want to show your solution. You can go back and talk about the solution that we talked about in the video. That's cool. Or you can think about your own. Volcanoes. You might be drawing a volcano with lava going all over. Lava all over town. Almost at the town. And then your solution. Mind you, it doesn't have to be that. If you could think of some other way to show a volcano and how it's a hazard, that's cool. It doesn't have to be lava going all over the town. Be creative. These are my tips. These are my ideas. You could take my tips and as like a brainstorm and go run with it and work with it, or you could think of something your own. That's cool. It's up to you. This is just for the friends that might be a little bit stuck and don't know what to do. These are some helpful hints for each of those hazards. Volcanoes and then tsunamis. So a lot of you said yesterday that an interesting fact that you didn't know before is that these tsunamis could be like about 100 feet tall. That's kind of crazy. So you can be drawing not literally 100 feet tall waves, but large waves. 100 feet. Not literally drawing 100 feet, but very large waves. Large waves going toward town, a little town. And then your solution. So when I'm saying this again, these tips are not, you don't have to do exactly what I just said. If you are stuck, this is something for you to go to and say, hey, I'm not really sure what I should draw. Earthquakes, volcanoes, there's different ideas there for each of those. Now, also a helpful hint that I'm giving you is that when you're drawing these towns, and you're like, I don't know how to draw towns, literally, or buildings, squares, and rectangles are a great way of starting to draw your buildings, and you could draw like little windows or be as creative as you want. But if you are stuck and you're like, I don't know how to do that, it's boxes and squares and rectangles, water, wiggly lines. Be creative. I know a lot of you guys see drawing and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't draw. You guys can do it. You guys are able to represent it and label. That's key. It's key, because then if you're not labeling I can't fully understand what is happening or how is that a solution, right? So if you want to also explain next to your solution how that's a solution, like draw a little bubble or something next to it, that's cool. Do it. Be creative, label your work, be that scientist. Have it where you are preparing a town, trying to protect the town, but you also want someone else to be able to read your work as well, right? You always want to have someone else be able to look over your work and understand what you're talking about. So again, remember the video links are right here. Here are some extra tips. You can always pause it and stop it and come back to it if you need some help, rewind. But yeah, have fun with it. Be creative. You guys did great work. You have a lot of interesting facts. Use those interesting facts to help you, right? You did all this great work this week. Apply it now, right? Awesome. I'm very excited. I cannot wait to see these diagrams. Make sure that you attach them just like what you guys did for the canyons on Monday. You guys did a fantastic job on that. If you have any questions, please make sure that you reach out. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and that you have a lot of fun doing this. Color it, make it beautiful if you want to. I saw beautiful canyons. Make sure it is neat though. Make sure that it's neat. But yeah. And I guess the extra effort today, we can go back to a heart. Not on your paper though. Not on the diagram paper. It could be a separate piece of paper, or you could put it in a private comment, something like that. Just a quick heart. Or you could do it on a separate piece of paper and attach that too. That's cool. But just, I'm looking for friends that I can post theirs as a nice shout out for the really beautiful, they're all beautiful, but the friends that took a really lot of time to make sure that their diagram showed their thinking. Okay? Awesome. Guys, till next time.